Well, we've certainly had our share of rain in the last 2 weeks. It's pretty much every day, non-stop. Wind and fog too, of course. The Egyptian walking onions are getting a lovely bath, it looks like. I ran out during a little stop in the rain there, looking at my garlic, hoping it isn't getting too waterlogged. It's sprouting, looking good. So sticking to indoor activities. I've just been potting on some tomatoes. It's been raining days and days and days and days, so I'm going to get on with that today. And I think I'm going to have to steal potatoes from a pot because I need the pot. Here's my first ones I've got potted on, and I've got a lot more to go. So these tomatoes are for outside, as opposed to those that I grow upstairs inside, which I'm neglecting right now. These are beefsteak determinate, so not crazy high growth. And these are Scotia, also determinate, not crazy high growth. The indeterminate go on and on and on and give you great yields if you are in a pleasant climate. I don't have the long growing season, so really they never do well for me anyways. Well, I should preface all of this by saying don't follow me for tomato tips, by the way. I do this for fun. It's just like growing squash for me. It's the challenge of they don't grow. I don't have a long enough season. I don't use it in a, put them in a greenhouse, which would work here in Newfoundland, but I don't have one. So I do it for the fun, and I do get some. This has only been the past few years, a couple of years. And I get excited just to have those, and then I bring them in and ripen them, and that works well. And there's a big old rock. So yeah, there's so many wonderful channels out there that can show you proper tomatoes, proper season growing, and their wonderful results, I should say. So these are Scotia, which I guess it's probably named after Nova Scotia. I'm not sure. It's a classic growing tomato here in Newfoundland anyways, and I'm quite familiar with it, and they do grow. They grow well and they're hardy, and I'm hoping these beefsteak, I got these from our local seed company, Gay Seed, and I've already got one plant upstairs for the internal growing, again because it's a bush variety that will, it's already got tomatoes on it. So very excited about that. So I'm going to pot these on, finish off the first potting of these tomatoes. This one is just some tiny Tims. They grow really well outside too, much more productive than my indoors, of course. Everything is better if you can get them to grow outside. But I've got some of those growing upstairs too. I've got quite a few there. So I just stick out. They don't all make it. It may look like I'm overseeding them. I'm not really. I will lose a few in the cold to come. We had snow the other day, and we will still have snow. So these don't go out until I go a week after our last frost date at the minimum. But sometimes that doesn't even work. So I go all the way to, it could be June before they might get out, which is not giving it them much time to produce lovely red tomatoes. But we try, and it's the excitement of actually producing a few that I love. With lack of sunshine for 2 weeks solid, my indoors are looking pretty sad. But they're flowering and I haven't potted them on yet. I've been very neglectful of these poor things, so I've got to get on to that. I've just potted this one on. Oh dear, and talk about neglect. My goodness, look at the tomatoes coming here. And they're in a tiny pot still, so I'll try to get those moved on. I brought down my potatoes. It's early for me to be pulling them, but I need the pot. And I need potatoes, so I'm going to dump these out and see what few we might have. I know there's 2. I've seen 2 in there. So there was supposed to be a break in the rain, and there's been a bit, but it's still drizzling. So I'm not going to go out. I'm just going to make a mess here probably, and then I'll clean it up and get these potatoes out of the pot. As I've raved on and on about, we've had 2 weeks of rain. It hasn't let up, and it's been cold. So a little dismal, and no sunlight. So these don't look too great. I planted these February 7th, I think, and just a seed potato of my own. It is a little early, but I just want the pot, and I have other potatoes in pots going just for fun, and we'll see for fun what's in here. So how am I going to do this? Let's see. I'll get these off. And here's where I make a mess, for sure. Okay, not too bad. Okay, there's one of the ones. I knew there was a couple. Oh, it is damp soil. No sunshine meant no drying of the soil. He's a cutie. Nice new potato. After eating all our old ones, I've just finished them off actually, and they were quite withered, and I threw them in something, and I'm looking forward to new potatoes, which are quite okay. He's pretty small, but he's cute also. So, hopefully there's more than the 2 that I anticipate. Ooh, there's a little one. The excitement of digging potatoes, no matter what size. And that's tiny. Cute. Yeah. I never really have much success with potatoes in pots. I really like growing them in the ground because I just seem to get much better yields. But when it's off season, what a fun thing to do. Oh, good. Is have some potatoes just when my other ones are nearing their end. Whoa, it's weird. I don't know what I just touched there. And I think this is probably it. But that's cute. There was the mess I said I'd make. Oh, there's another one. And there's the original. Actually not looking too bad. So I think that's the potatoes. There we go. Few red Norlands for supper. I won't embarrass myself by weighing them off. This is not a great yield. But from one little of my own potatoes, so no cost whatsoever, that's fun.